So, who are you beneath everything that you've become? Who are you really? I asked myself this question the other day, and I don't know if I really know the answer. When I begin to strip away my past, my hobbies, my passions, the things I put all my energy into, the things society kind of influenced me or maybe forced me to become, what my mother, my father, my friends, my social structures, what they thought would be best for me, and I kind of fit those roles. What I've been influenced by social media, that's a huge one. If I take all that away, who am I really underneath all that? Who are you really? It's such an interesting thought, and it's a thought that's been really kind of heavy on my shoulders over the last few months, more than it ever has. But I just have this feeling that who I've been becoming and who I am isn't really who I am. What I do, how I present myself to people, how I show up in the world. It's very extroverty. I know it's not a word, but everyone sees me as this extrovert. And maybe I can hold up a mirror and you can ask yourself these same questions, but for me, everyone sees me as this extrovert, and I've always been the extrovert, the guy who loves to talk, is always behind the camera talking, or in front of the camera, always worried about how he looks, physically especially. Large social media presence that I have. And I don't know what happened, but I truly don't feel like that's me. I don't feel like, my physique is me. I don't feel like the way I feels like I have to kind of show up for people during the day that I run into. I don't really feel like that's me. And it's interesting because the identity that I have and the identity that people know me for, there's something telling me deep inside, like, heart, that's really not you. And I'm okay with that. I'm just starting to notice it. I'm just starting to be aware of who I've been becoming over the last 10 years of my life. I don't think that's truly who I am. In fact, I think I'm the exact opposite. I think I'm a homebody. I think I don't really care how my physique looks. Of course, I'm into my health and stuff, but to the extent of me abusing PEDs for the last 10 years of my life and abusing my health, and caring so much about how I look and wanting to be this famous person with what I do on social media and in my niche. Of course, I'm not famous, but in the niche I get of what I do, I am. And as of late, I'm like, man, I don't think that's me. It doesn't really feel like me. So I don't know what's happening inside of me, but I feel kind of torn. I feel torn because I'm showing up a certain way, because I feel like I have to, because I've become this person, and this is just who I am, and in so many people's eyes, this is how heart shows up. But down deep, if I'm being truly honest with myself, I feel like I'm a massive introvert, and I'm a massive homebody, and I don't like to really be that sociable, and I like to be just kind of more introverted, just kind of more closed off. And I'm not saying I like to be mean or any of those things. I'm not saying being an extrovert is a bad thing whatsoever. I think it's beautiful, but I think who I've always thought I truly am, man, I I may not be that person. It's the craziest realization. And it's hard because, after showing up for so long for the public and social media and your friends and your family as this person, and now you're truly feeling like, man, is this really who you are? And this other version of yourself, can you truly accept that that's okay, being your real self? And are you going to continue kind of performing? And how long is that going to go on? And are you okay with people thinking differently of you and maybe thinking you're depressed or you're on a super low vibe? And guys, it's kind of happening to me, I'm very content and at peace, slowly like stripping away all this clay and slowly finding out who Hart really is and how he wants to behave and feel and show up. It's still me. I want to tell these people it's still me. I'm still happy, joyful Hart. It doesn't come with all the crazy energy, extrovert kind of wildness, material. It's so hard to put my finger on it, but people know me as a extrovert, always want to be in front of the camera, always want to be sociable, always, looking a certain way physically, out and about. And I just have this deep, deep feeling that that's not me. And it's not a depressing feeling. It's not like I'm feeling negative about the situation. I'm just kind of leaning into, like I said, kind of stripping away that clay. And I'm looking at this beautiful, like, crack of gold that's shining through. I can see it, but I have all this clay. I have all this stuff that society and people and all this influence told me to be, and all this clay has formed me as something else, something that I'm not, something that everyone else sees me as. But if I'm being honest with myself, I can see my real self through that. And I think I'm just trying to get to that place without hurting anyone, letting anyone down, not losing my own mind. I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, they're like, what'd you do today? I'm like, oh, did my best to hold it all together. I don't know. Maybe it's important to ask yourself and be aware of who you are really. Who are you beneath everything that everyone and everything has influenced you to become? Who are you? What do you truly like doing? How do you truly like to act? Who are you? Maybe take some time to yourself and put down the phone. And I know it's probably cold out where you are. I don't know if you can see my breath. It's freezing here. It's like 37 degrees, but I would say go in nature and sit down and disconnect and just really ask yourself, what do you think your identity is? Who do you think you are? And does it matter to you to try and figure that out, Because I think I've never felt more at peace leaning into who I feel like I truly am. And that's where the most contentness and peacefulness comes, because I'm not forcing anything. I'm just naturally, authentically showing up how I want to show up. And like I said, it's not a depressing thing for me. I'm just calm. I'm just very, very casual. Very interesting. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.